Hello there Whipplings and welcome back to another mod showcase. Today I'm going to be showing you the Tall Doors mod, which adds epic new varieties of doors into Minecraft. This mod is really awesome since in vanilla Minecraft there's not much variety in the kinds of door, and they're all pretty small. I mean, they only just fit you through them or a mob, like, fence gates and the boring wooden and iron doors. So this mod actually improves this by adding humongous doors, as you can probably see here, and some things that aren't even doors at all, which you'll see later, and they're really awesome. And you can even create your own kinds of doors, which is probably the best part of this mod. It's so easy to just customize your own doors for your own buildings that fit your building style exactly. So if we could possibly get 500 likes for this mod showcase, that would be awesome. And before we begin, I just want to apologise if you can hear any traffic in the background. I've had to keep my window open because it is so hot in England at the moment. So yeah, I can't close my window, otherwise I'd die of heat exhaustion or something. I don't even know. But let's just go straight into this mod now. So the first thing I need to show you is something called Luovite ore, and I want to say thank you to whoever it was in the comments the other day. I think it was on my YouTuber Heads mod showcase. Someone told me I could actually turn on tooltips which show you what block you're hovering over, and that's so useful. So you can see there we've got Luovite, I think that's what it's called, or Luovite, I don't even know. But look at this, it just looks like stone with a few green bits in it, and this is the new ore that this mod adds, and it's only really used for one thing as far as I can tell, and that is something called a destruction hammer. And this is one crucial item in this mod, and you need it to actually destroy any of the custom tool doors that this mod adds. You can't actually destroy these new doors with your fist. You have to craft this special destruction hammer item by actually obtaining this ore. So once you've actually obtained this ore and then smelted it in a furnace, you get some Luovite ingots. And yeah, these are used to craft the destruction hammer, and I've just accidentally deleted that. And you craft it using 5 of those Luovite ingots and 2 sticks, and then you just right click on any of the doors to actually remove them. But there's also a new kind of stone that this mod adds, called Icono stone, really weird name, and as far as I can tell it's only an aesthetic block. It has no purpose in any of the crafting recipes or any of the doors, so yeah, it's just an aesthetic block which you can use to decorate your buildings or stuff like that. But now, probably the moment you've all been waiting for, let's actually get into the doors. Since this mod is called the Tall Doors mod, you'd expect it to add doors into the game. So let's just start off with the basic doors. These need no customization and they have simple crafting recipes, so for any of you slightly less advanced users that just want some cool doors to put on the front of your castle, you can use these doors, and they're very easy to craft. So we're just going to start off with the first kind of door, which is the wooden doors. So they come in 3 different sizes. We've got the 4x4, the 4x5, and then the 4x6 doors, and you can see them here. This is the 4 high one, this is the 5 high one, and this is the 6 high one. And they also come in 2 different sides, so you've got the left side door and then the right side door. And they have different crafting recipes depending on the size and the kind of door you want to craft. So let's just start off with the left entrance door. So this one's crafted with 8 oak wood planks. I believe it does work with any kind of wood, by the way, so you can put whatever kind of wood you want in here, but the end result is still going to look the same no matter what kind of wood you use. But in the case of actually crafting a left-hand door, you're going to need to put a wooden door in the bottom left of your crafting grid, and then for the right-hand version, you put it in the middle right. So that's how they're crafted. And it's slightly different for the bigger doors. So for the 4x5 door, you're actually going to need the 4x4 door in the middle left, and then for the right-hand version, you put it in the middle right, and then for the 4x6 door, you just put the 4x5 door in the middle left, and then for the other side, you just put it in the middle right. And that's how you can actually craft these doors, and you can actually open them just like usual. So there you go. But there's a little bit of a problem with these doors. They don't actually get activated by redstone. I'll just give you a little demonstration here. So we're going to get some redstone dust and then a torch, and if I actually connect up some redstone to this door like so, you can see the door doesn't open. So as far as I'm aware, there's no way to actually make it activate with redstone, which is a bit of a pain. I'm just presuming that these doors are just too big to be affected by redstone, and there's just not any kind of mechanism strong enough to open them. Maybe that's the reason, but yeah, so you can just open them, close them. Although somehow Steve must be super strong to be able to open and close these doors. Surely they must be really heavy. Look at the size of these things. But yeah, I just love the pattern of these. But now let's go through to the other variety of door. So in front of me now we've got the iron tool doors, and again they're crafted in exactly the same way as the wooden tool doors. You just replace the oak wood planks with iron ingots, and the rest of the crafting recipes are the same. just replace the oak wood with the iron ingots. And again, they open just like the wooden doors. I was expecting these to have like a redstone activation system, just like iron doors do in vanilla Minecraft, but nope, you can still open these with your fist, and they just have a nice light grey colour to them. And last but not least, we have the cobblestone doors, or the dark grey doors, and these are crafted again in the same way, just using cobblestone instead of the oak wood planks. And again, you can open them with your fist, and they just look awesome. So if you wanted to use some of these doors as a castle entrance, then you could, and they just look epic, and you can just walk through them and feel like a god. Yes, haha, they're just awesome doors. But if you actually want to make some custom doors that look like this, but slightly different with like windows in them, I'll show you how you can do that later with the door customization. But now let's move along. So next up we have something called fence doors. And no, these are not the fence gates you get in vanilla Minecraft. These are proper fence doors. These actually remind me of the doors or gates that you find on the edges of fields where farmers like put their livestock through. And yeah, look at this. They're so cool. They're made out of wood, and they've got two different varieties as usual. So let's just find this. So we've got the left fence door and then the right fence door. To craft the left one, you're going to need 8 oak wood planks and then just a fence gate in the bottom left. And then to craft the right version, you're going to need what? Why is it in the left side? I don't understand these crafting recipes. So for the right hand fence door, you're actually going to need to put it in the middle left. Okay, that's completely weird. I'm just presuming that he's messed this up slightly, because that seems very counterintuitive for actually crafting this thing. But yeah, so you can see this one opens this way, and this one opens that way. But there is a bit of a problem when you put two together, like I've got the left variety and the right variety here. You can actually squidge through the gap in the middle, so you can see I can fit through here and get into this pen. So don't put two of these together, it just doesn't work. I can actually demonstrate how this hammer works now. So all you have to do to use the hammer is just right click on the door, and it'll remove it. And I don't believe you get it back. Let me just turn into survival and check this. Do you get it back? Yes, you do. Okay, we're all good. But that's not what I just destroyed. Okay, as you can see, this mod is still quite buggy. I mean, I just destroyed a fence gate door thingy, and I got a left entrance door. That's not the same thing, game. What are you doing? But yeah, so that's how those work, and I wouldn't recommend putting a left fence gate and a right fence gate together, because it just has a gap in the middle, and anything can fit through it. But now let's move on to possibly the coolest kind of door in this mod, which isn't even a door, it's a drawbridge. But look at this thing, it's magnificent. We've got a drawbridge mechanism up here, attached to some redstone and a button, and you'll see what happens when I actually activate this later. But you can see we've got string here connecting these, probably reinforced like wire or something, not really string. But the crafting recipe for these actually contains string, so I suppose it is string. And this is actually the drawbridge itself, which is made of wood, and it looks quite cool. But let's just fly up here, and I'm going to activate it. So let's just go back into creative. So now let's just activate this drawbridge, set it to day again. Let's press this button, and look at this thing. It's a lovely animation, and it just raises up the drawbridge, and then it should fit perfectly into this gap that I've left for it to slot into. And it's actually got double functionality, because it actually acts as a door as well. So I can fly over here, and you can see I can't get past this drawbridge because it's now fully up, and it acts as a door as well. So it's a door and a bridge at the same time, which is probably why it's called a drawbridge. But let's just go around here, and you can see it just looks really nice from both angles. And if I press the button again, it's just going to retract back down, so I can actually cross over this little moat that I've made. Yeah, I decided to just make a really small moat. I don't even know whether I can call it a moat, since it's not a full circle, it's not like a full loop. I think that's the kind of definition of a moat. But yep, so I've just got like a little puddle, probably bigger than puddle, like a lake. No, it's not even a lake. I don't even know what I'd call that. I don't even know. But yeah, so I can just walk across this perfectly fine, and it's just a really awesome drawbridge. But what I wanted to try now is what happens if I push the button and then stand on it while it's going up. Okay, push the button. Okay. Oh, I just fall straight through it. That's a bit of a shame. I was hoping I'd like stand on it and then I'd just slide down as it went up, but nope. But now let's see if I get squished by it. So if I stand here and watch it come down on me, no, it's gonna hurt. Ouch, I'm gonna get squished by my own drawbridge. Oh, wow, I just clipped straight through it. Wow, it seems like this isn't acting like... I didn't just walk through it. That was okay. Yeah, as I said, this mod is still quite buggy, but it's still awesome. Look at this thing. It's an amazing thing to put on the edge of your castle, or if you just wanted to protect your building from other people on a multiplayer server or aggressive mobs, you could make a moat around your building and then put a drawbridge over the top of it. Or if you've built next to a river, this would be a cool way to get into your building that looks awesome to anyone coming by. So yeah, that's the drawbridge. But there's one final thing I need to show you before I go on to the advanced customization options, and that is the mosaics. So let's just swap over to the part of my inventory where I've got my mosaic tiles. Yeah, there we go. So there's two different kinds of mosaic tiles. We've got the see-through versions, which is mosaic glass, and then we've got the mosaics, which are solid and you can't see through them. So yeah, so to actually craft the mosaic tiles themselves, which aren't see-through, you're going to need 5 sand and 4 cobblestone, like so. And then you can just place these down and they look exactly the same as blocks with a grey texture, unless you actually texture them using one of the mosaic patterns. But let's just remove that. And to actually craft the mosaic glass, you're going to need 5 glass blocks and then 4 glowstone dust. And then for each time you craft this, you're going to get 8 mosaic glass. But there is a slight problem with the patterns with this mosaic glass, because the mosaic glass pattern appears on all sides of the block, which means when you actually see through it, you can see the patterns on the other side, and it looks just like a jumbled mess when you're actually trying to make a pattern that looks cool. And this is not a problem that's experienced with the mosaic tiles, which are solid, because of course you can't see through them and see the other patterns on the other side. And even though the patterns match up on this side, if I go around to the other side, you can see the patterns don't match up at all, which I really hope the mod creator fixes, because it would be really nice to have stained glass windows like this using the mosaic glass, but sadly you can't because the patterns don't match up and it just looks like a jumbled mess. But yeah, if you actually want to change the pattern on these mosaic tiles, when you first place them down, of course, they just look like an empty kind of grey texture. If you actually want to texture them, you're going to need to craft something called a mosaic tool. And to craft this, you're going to need 4 iron ingots and 3 oak wood planks. And then you get this item that looks like a pair of pliers with red handles and then a metal tip. And then all you need to do to actually use this is you just hold it in your hand and then right click on the block you actually want to texture, like so, and then you get this GUI that pops up and you can choose whatever pattern you want. So you can have like a blue mosaic pattern, you can have a kind of fruit pattern or whatever that is. Oh yeah, here's the fruit patterns, like you've got grapes here and stuff and apples, and you can just like merge them together and try and make them link up. If you've got like this kind of window where you've got multiple mosaic tiles next to each other, you can try and make the patterns link up like I've done here. And there are special different textures that actually do link up if you choose the correct ones and put them together. But we've also got things like green hell, and we've got stone. Look at that, you can make your own brick wall. So if you really want just a brick wall with a see-through texture or something, then you could use this one. And as you can see, when I press escape to exit out the menu, it gets applied to the block, and now we've got like a solid looking brick textured block. And you can use this for your buildings, or you can use it for some windows if you're using the mosaic glass variety. So now onto the complicated part of the mod, which includes new like workbenches and stuff for crafting more advanced kinds of doors that look more awesome, and you can actually change the size of them to make them like 30 by 30. It's crazy what you can do with this mod, the possibilities are endless. But I'm going to start off with showing you how you can actually craft your own custom sized drawbridge. So what you're going to need to do is get some items which are called the drawbridge workbench and then the machine workbench. To craft the drawbridge workbench, you're going to need 6 planks and then 3 cobblestone, like so. And then for the machine workbench, you're going to need 2 redstone, a cobblestone, and then 6 oak wood planks. And then you just place it down, and it's really weird because the texture of these don't actually look like oak wood. So, once you've actually placed these down, you can just access the drawbridge workbench just by right-clicking on it, like so. And then you've got 2 options here. The top one is the width of the drawbridge, and then the bottom one is the length, how long it is, so how long you want the bridge to be. So I'm going to create a drawbridge which is 2 wide, and then 3, 4, 5, 6 long. Yeah, so it's 2 wide and 6 long. Maybe 3 wide and 6 long. That would look cooler. So yeah, there we go. And then once you've done this, it tells you that you need 18 planks and then 9 iron, which I have in my inventory. I believe it doesn't matter what kinds of planks you've got, it'll just accept any of them, apart from ones from custom mods, of course. So let's just press OK, and there we go. We've got a drawbridge which says width 3 and then depth 6, which of course is the length of the drawbridge. But now you need to make a mechanism that actually matches this. So we've just got to remember that this one is width of 3. So of course this one, the first one's width, so we need to set the width as 3, and then these 3 values you can just ignore. You don't need to worry about these options here, and I don't have a clue what a spool is, so I'm just going to ignore that. But you can see for this you need 10 planks, 5 iron, and then some wool, which I don't actually have. Luckily I typed it down here already, but here we go. So I've got wool, and then I can just press OK, and I've crafted myself a mechanism with width 3 and then the rest of them being 1. And there's one final thing we need to craft, but I need to get it so I can actually see how you can craft it. So tall doors, yeah, it's this connector item here. And to craft a connector, which is what you need to connect the machine itself to the drawbridge, you're going to need 4 string and then some cobblestone in the center, like so. And all you need is one of these, and then you can actually place down your drawbridge. So I'll just give you a demonstration of how this works now. So what you need to do is place down your drawbridge base, and then what you need to do is make some pillars up. I'm going to use sacred oak, I think, because I just love this texture. I'm just going to get rid of these. I don't need them. Oh, I've just deleted it. Anyway, we've got another example drawbridge here. Sorry about that. So let's just place down the drawbridge, and then we need to pillar up. I believe you need to have the mechanism 7 blocks up. Let me just count. I think this is 7 blocks up, so if we put it there, it should work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then if we place the mechanism down, just by doing it this orientation, like so, and then all you need to do, after you've placed the mechanism 7 blocks above the drawbridge, you just need to right click on it, and then right click down here, like so, and there you can see it's connected to the drawbridge. And then all you need to do is activate it with redstone, so let's just link up some redstone here to a button, like so, and then you can see when I press the button, the drawbridge will go up, and that's how you can create your own simple drawbridge using these custom blocks. I don't actually believe you can craft the basic drawbridge without using these custom workbenches. As you can see, I'm pressing R and there's no crafting recipe for these, so you're going to have to use these custom workbenches to craft yourself and place down a drawbridge. So next up, I'm just going to show you how you can actually create custom doors, and that means you can have like new patterns, and you can have sizes bigger than those over there. You can even have doors like 30 by 10 in size. So yeah, this is kind of crazy. I'm sorry about how technical this mod has become. When I actually downloaded this mod, I thought it'd be relatively simple, but it turned out it was quite technical if you want to create some advanced kinds of doors with your own custom patterns and textures. But anyway, to actually craft a custom door, you're going to need a door module workbench, which is crafted using 6 oak wood planks, 2 iron ingots and some cobblestone, and then also a module door assembly crafting bench, which is crafted using 6 iron ingots, 2 oak wood planks and some cobblestone. So now let's actually just access our door module workbench. So you can see once I open it, we've got a whole new GUI. It looks really complex, and it really is complex. But we've got the first tab here, which I've got open, which is the modules tab, and you can see here these modules are basically just different design patterns for your door, and each one of these door modules is 1 by 1 blocks, and you stitch these together to create a bigger door. But whatever pattern you want on the door, you can select here. And the one I personally like is the glass windows, so you can have 4 small windows or 1 giant window, and this is going to use 2 oak wood planks, as you can see in the bottom left here, and then we've got 2 glass, and I have these in my inventory. So yeah, and this is per module. But so I'm going to choose this one, and then down here in the bottom right, we've got some other options. We've got a priority selector. I don't know what this does at all, so I just normally pick 2, 1, 3, 4. It doesn't seem to make a difference. And then we've got the S, H, V, and F options. And again, I don't know what these do, but I'm just going to press F because that's what I've used in the past, and it always seems to work for me. But anyway, the next tab we need to look at is textures. Now, the selector on the left is the texture of the outside of the module itself, and for this, I want oak wood. And then for the right hand side, this is the texture you want in the inside of the door, which is the glass texture we want because we're making one with windows in. And then for the sides, again, we need to choose oak. And this is the side-on view of the door, what texture you want for it. So that pretty much should be everything for this door module. And then we press OK to actually create the module. And depending on the size of the door, you're going to have to create more or less modules, but I'm creating a door which is going to be 2 by 3, so 2 wide and then 3 high, so that means I'm going to need 6 different modules. So there we go, I've got 3, 4, 5 and 6. There we go, so now I've got 6 modules, and then we can move over to the module door assembly. So let's right click on this, and look how complex this looks. Wow, it's humongous. But anyway, we've got our modules now. Now the first thing you need to do is go down to the bottom left where we've got the width, set it to the width of the door you want to create, and then set the height of the door. We want a 2 by 3 door, and then we need to shift it up 1, because this red square is where you're actually going to place down the door. If I had it like this, I'd place down the door, and then half of the door would be in the ground. We don't want that, so I'm just going to shift it down 1, so now we've got the red square in the bottom left of the door, which is perfect, and just where I want it. But once you've done this, you can start adding your modules into the door, in this little box that's been created, and there we go, I can just put all of of these in, and then all we need to do now is press the L button, and now we've got our module door placer item. And then I can just place it down, and look at that sexy door we've created. And this just gives you a little idea of how cool you can make your doors look. This would be really nice for a light coloured build with loads of windows. You can even use this as like a window, a custom window for your building. If you have like a 3-high window, you could use this as your window, and looks quite neat, and you can even open it. So yeah, but that pretty much sums up everything in this mod. You can see it's quite simple with the basic doors, but it gets very complex when you want to create things like the drawbridge, and then even more advanced when you want to create your own custom doors like so. But yeah, thank you for watching everyone, and please remember to smash that like button if you've enjoyed this video, and as always, I'll be seeing you next mod showcase.